how might I change the situation so that it's something that I can work to and help other people. Hi, I'm Paul. By the time this is released, it is the new year, and right now I'm with Thai, and I'm doing this to make a special feature of Plusma-cast on the one hand to reflect our first year of being on YouTube, and also to perhaps tell more story of where this is going. For the sake of this special, I've got a friend here, Thai. She has her own YouTube, and she will interview me. But first, a bit about your channel.
I interview people whom I think is very interesting. They either believe in something or they have overcome very unique challenge in life. I want to highlight the human spirit in my podcast. So today, I think it would be great as well for me to get the story out of you. It's like, why out of everything you start a podcast channel? And what's your belief and what's your plan in the future? Because first of all, I would like to know what Plusma-cast is all about and why is it called Plusma-cast?
Plusma-cast is a purpose. It's a reflection of my own story that I was working professionally in construction industry as an architectural staff, but I had a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And I eventually stopped. So what do you do next? And reflecting back, it's look, all these trouble, a lot of difficulty, a lot of challenges. I won't say depressed, but I would say that you feel very down.
Yeah.
You feel very down.
I would say depressed mode, like the mode. Yeah.
So it took a bit of, not so much soul searching, but it took a lot of referencing, looking up other people's, looking up for ideas. The reflection came to me that if my situation is perhaps not unique, and to then turn it around and say, look, how might I change the situation so that it's something that I can work to and help other people? Plusma-cast is a channel, and hopefully I want to grow it into a brand whereby I help people get into creative industries and to take it from idea to skills to vocation.
So just like you mentioned, it focused solely on creative industry and creative professionals. Is there a specific reason? Because right now, I would say out there, it's technology is more sexy. And why creative industry?
Number one, it's because I come from a creative industry. So it's something that I can relate well or communicate well or even speak the language. Okay? And on the other hand, a lot of creative industries, be it graphics, be it design, be it fashion, be it theater, be it music and literature and such, is on the one hand you can do it on your own, but I think after developing skills, people there's not necessarily the industry support or the skill support to help you push you along the way. So there's a bigger picture to not only communicate stories, which is what I'm doing now, but to build a brand that helps people in this journey to become successful professionals in the creative industry.
So is there a core message that you want to deliver to the audience through this channel?
The core message is very simply, if you want to get into creative industry, no matter what component of it you take, I just want to help you along the way to understand that what is the idea of the vocation? How might you learn it? How might you learn the skills to come into it, and what to expect? Okay? Success might be, hey, it's a million unit selling album, or is it just the guy who's done the best of a sound editing job, or maybe it's the guy who says, hey, I jammed with this fella.
I see.
I jammed with this now star because I helped him get his first gig. That kind of thing. Success may not necessarily be the celebrity. It's a bonus to me if it happens. But to help the people have their daily successes, that's the key thing of the message. Help you have your daily successes in your creative work.
All right. So in the process of creating this podcast, have you faced any major challenges, any obstacle that you have to overcome?
The biggest obstacle I had to overcome was myself.
Right.
Okay? Because when I started it, I made a few episodes, called a few friends, and once I put it out, I go, okay, what next? And it took me a while to realize that, okay, how do I find my next show? And eventually it was just, I mean, it could simply be said, just do it. But more significantly, you not be afraid to get out of your head.
Get out of your head.
Yeah, get out of your own head, your own doubts, your
Right.
own
Insecurities
or fears. Yeah. And just do what is necessary to make things happen. So in the case of
do you have any tips
okay,
like to get out of the fear? What do you tell yourself? What's the process?
it took a bit of repeating it to myself to
Right.
say that, hey, you know, we are at home, not much is happening. You want to do this, and you got to take your action.
I see. So it's
Okay.
self-talk.
It's self-talk, but it's self-talk that was inspired by a couple of other icons that I have that I've been following, and they just simply say, just do it.
All right.
But so when you think of just doing it, it then translates to, okay, what type of action? And the action that started working to sort of rebuild that momentum to make sure this thing goes is I was chasing events, chasing people. I might not necessarily find the person I want to view, but more significantly is you be open to then whether you find the person directly that you want to feature, or they can link you in, they can intro you in.
I see. But is there any tips that you can share with us to get the yes?
Okay, what type of tips are you looking for?
I don't know. In terms of communication, why do people say yes to you?
I sent emails directly. I've sent emails directly to people, and that didn't quite work. What definitely seems to have a higher chance is that you have engaged them personally. So that's why I'm quite I'm quite out there chasing events, because people people recognize or people associate when they see who you are. Okay, they meet you, you're a nice guy or nice lady, and they think, and the message you communicated to them, they can go, hey, yeah, I think it's a good message. So then they come on board. So to put it out in simple points is, number one, they've met you in person and they see your personality. Then they've seen your message. And with that, then they come on board.
So it has been almost 1 year.
Yep.
Yeah. So how has you evolved as a host and also as a person in this process?
Yeah, I'm still very tourist, still learning. But what I recently have noticed, or what recently I feel, is that I'm on the right track. Now, definitely, there's still things to learn, like skills or technology. I mean, one of the big picture items is that I have a studio so that I can present properly in peace and in a and make my guests look better. Because I have to pursue this. This is what I want to do. I have to pursue this. And there's a lot of you could say reinforcement, because people feedback to me positively, and that pushes me further on.
So do you have any process of getting the best wisdom out of your guests?
I have a framework when I make my shows, okay, that I want to know their story from the idea, how they take idea into skills, and how they take skills into vocation. And it's not so much that I extract, it's I let them. Maybe there is something insightful that I just poke a bit more, and they can tell, and they tell the story. But generally, I let them. But the key thing is that you just be open-minded to people, because there's so many people on this planet. There's of us, there's a few billions of us, and each of them have their own story, their own nuance, their own experiences. When you meet them, they might reveal it, they might not. But the key point is you let them tell it.
I see. Giving them the space.
Yeah, giving them the space. Like if it's something secret, they wouldn't tell it anyway. But if it's something that they are willing to share, then you just poke him a bit to say, hey, it's safe to tell. Or it's something that I hope you can use to inspire other people
So throughout the journey, like after interviewing 14 creative professionals, have they changed any of your perspective about the creative industry? Has that made any big impact in your own worldview?
There's a few specific cases. For example, like one of my episodes, Richard Ong, he explains that what is value. Okay, that's a big lesson to me. What is value? Whether you go into the 9 to 5, which means that you pre-sell your value, or you go into entrepreneurship where you establish your value. Another insightful one is Julian Lee, a professional violinist, and I learned that there's actually no such thing as geniuses. Okay, that it's people who have found that match of what they will do early on. These are people with still very intense or very significant stories to say, look, I'm doing my creative work not only as a professional practice, but because I want to take it in a way to, again, help people unlock themselves.
Yeah. Or have you discovered any, like, the key to unlock creativity from these guests?
Not really. Not really. Not really. Sometimes it's, sometimes it's being mentored in 9 to 5. Sometimes it's overcoming a great personal challenge. Sometimes it is, just taking action of what they already do. And sometimes it's conflicting with, the reality of where they are versus what they actually want to do. And sometimes putting it off until it gets triggered again much later. So is there a common thread? It's a bit tough to say. What I can say about a specific common trait is that these people never really gave up on their dream, their passion, their why.
The pursuit.
They might put it off years later and pursue it, or it might have always been in them, but expressed in a different way.
Right.
So they never really gave up on that passion.
Since this is a special edition that marked the beginning of 2019, let's share about something you learned, like important lesson from last year. Frame it in a way that what are the things that you wish you know when you started?
One is to probably get out my own fears. Okay, it took. So I started Plusma-cast in January and thinking that I would, push it to be able to produce every week. So there was a lot of gap time of me trying to get out of my own fears or getting out of my own doubts. And if I knew earlier, the problem wasn't so much how I got out of my fears and doubts. It's identifying the source. That's what I needed a bit of help with. But when that was explored and found to its core, then okay, just act. You feel a bit freer to act.
All right. So what would be your advices for young and driven graduates who wish to embark on the creative journey?
If I were to sort of structure it, one is practice your craft, refine your craft, and also validate your craft. So maybe it's your peers, maybe it's an institution, or maybe it's mentors. Build yourself up to a level that people will recognize, okay, you've reached a certain level to present it to the next step. Whether you develop it over years or whether you develop it quickly because you're so intensely, building your craft, developing your processes. It's all right. It's all right even when you start. You might start early, you might start late, but the most significant part about both Plusma-cast and about getting into the creative industry is developing your processes, your craft. It might take a while, it might start late, but that is your focus.
So what would be the direction of Plusma-cast in 2019?
First, achieve my first milestone, which is to produce every week. Okay, to feature a new guest every week. Another one is to perhaps do some international guests. One of the ideas I have for Plusma-cast is the world tour, because the message I want to get is not just about here in Malaysia. It's where I start, but I want to help as many people as possible through this brand, through this channel worldwide. Okay, Among another idea is to perhaps get a studio. Okay, because each of these channels is amusing, fun, getting it done. But
Yeah.
I think I need something more. You could say a better platform.
Yeah.
I don't spend so much time arranging, not just arranging the guests, but arranging the place and such. This is unnecessary, but I mean, it's not probably unnecessary going forward, but it's a start that I have to do. And the third is to offer ways to help people through maybe further content, further branded content, or maybe even events where, hey, you know, we're all in this together.
I see.
Maybe it's not just you watch a video and figure out I can do this or not. It's maybe you see in person and ask away live.
All right. So with all this vision and big plan in the future, what is the impact that you want to make in this world?
Okay. In terms of what are the metrics or the metrics of impact, I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
What are the metrics or what are the metrics of the impact, I haven't figured out yet. But hopefully it's just to grow as big as possible. One of the core messages, or one of the what is my why, it's not just how I turn my down into probably a message that can help people.
All right. Help people in the sense that like get them into creative industry or like help them to sustain in the creative industry.
You come into creative industry and how do you sustain yourself? How do you become that professional? How do you build that career or vocation? See, that's the end goal that I'm trying to help people. Now it's perhaps media. Using media as the tool to help reach out to people and impact them to say, if you want to get into creative industry, because it's a vocation that you can do on your own or collaborate, however you want to take it. And let me help you take it from idea to skills to vocation.
All right, that will bring us to the last question.
All right.
So as a creative professional yourself, what is your one big principle?
I have a personal mission to try and help as many people as possible. Maybe I wasn't clear about how, okay? Because first it was through design or the built environment, and now it's about media. So my guiding principle is that, you know, I just want to try and help as many people as possible.
So that will bring us to the end of this conversation.
Okay. First, thank you for participating.
No problem. It's my pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the best in your adventure next year.
I might not necessarily get all of it in the year, but that's the vision.
Yeah, it's one step at a time, like what you say as well. It's always like the pursue it and then just stay in the journey and you will eventually get where you want to go.
Yeah. I mean, the signs are there, the positive signs, the positive feedback signs are there. So Plusma-cast right now is available on YouTube and minds.com. Okay. And this feature will also be on Isabel's channel.
Yeah, it will be on YouTube and on Your Story Facebook as well. So we'll link it up down there somewhere. So thank you guys for listening to us.
And yes, I hope to see you in the next episode of Plusma-cast too.
All right, bye.